The phone buzzed on the kitchen counter just after midnight. I almost ignored it, almost. Then I saw the name on the screen and my stomach dropped. David Harris. My lawyer didn't text at night, ever. I picked it up, and the message hit like a punch to the chest. Call me. Now. No emojis. No explanation, just that. I stared at it for a second too long, then hit call. You alone? He asked the second he picked up. His voice was tight. Yeah, I said. What's going on? There was a pause, like he was choosing his words carefully. I need you to sit down. That's when my heart started racing. I came across something today, he said. Something that was never supposed to resurface. I leaned against the counter. You're freaking me out, man. He exhaled slowly. It involves your daughter. Everything inside me dropped. What about her? I said. She's fine, right? He hesitated just long enough for fear to crawl up my spine. She's safe right now, he said. But what I found, it changes things. My hand tightened around the phone. Just say it. He lowered his voice. There was an incident years ago, one that got buried, records sealed, statements erased, and your daughter was right in the middle of it. I felt like the air got sucked out of the room. That's not possible, I said. She would have told me. She was a kid, he replied, and someone made damn sure she stayed quiet. I didn't remember sitting down, but suddenly I was. What are you saying? I asked. I'm saying someone scared the hell out of her, he said, and they had enough power to make it stick. My jaw clenched. Why are you telling me now? Because the file resurfaced, he said, and once it did, I knew you deserved to hear it from me before it blew up. I ran a hand through my hair, trying to breathe. Where is she? At her place, he said, and you should go tonight. I didn't argue. I grabbed my keys and headed out the door with one, thought burning in my head. What the hell happened to my kid while I wasn't looking? The drive to Lily's apartment felt endless, each streetlight flashing past like a warning I couldn't escape. My hands clenched the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles burned, but I barely noticed. All I could hear was Daniel's voice echoing in my head. Someone used her. The paperwork points to her. This is serious. None of it made sense. Lily was gentle, kind, the kind of girl who cried over injured animals and apologized when someone bumped into her. She wasn't reckless. She wasn't careless. She wasn't a criminal. When I pulled into her apartment complex, my chest tightened. The place looked quiet, ordinary, harmless. I sat in the car for a moment, forcing myself to breathe before climbing the stairs. When I knocked, the door opened slowly. "Dad," she whispered. Her eyes were red and swollen, her face pale. Her shoulders slumped, like the weight of the world was pressing her down. I stepped inside without a word. The apartment smelled like cold coffee and anxiety. Papers were scattered across the table, bank statements, envelopes, documents I didn't recognize. My stomach twisted. "We need to talk," I said. She nodded, her hands twisting together. "I didn't mean for this to happen," she whispered. My chest tightened. "What happened?" I asked. She swallowed hard. "It started with Jason. He said he was starting a business. He said he needed help moving money, while his accounts were being approved." My jaw clenched. "And you believed him?" She nodded, eyes filling with tears. "He showed me contracts, emails. Everything looked real. I didn't think it was illegal. I swear, Dad, I didn't spend any of it." I studied her face, searching for deception, but all I saw was fear and shame. "Why didn't you tell me?" I asked quietly. Her voice broke. I was scared. I thought if I waited, it would fix itself. "I didn't want you to think I was stupid." I turned away, pacing, my chest tight with anger and fear. "You should have come to me," I said, my voice strained. "I know," she whispered. I stopped and faced her. "Listen to me," I said. "I believe you. But the law doesn't care about intentions. It only cares about evidence." Her face drained of color. "Am I in trouble?" she asked. I hesitated, then nodded. "Yes, but you're not alone." She collapsed onto the couch, shaking, and I crossed the room to hold her. She cried against my chest the way she had when she was little, and my heart broke all over again. "I'm scared," she whispered. "I know," I said softly, "but I'm here. I'm not going anywhere." After a moment, she pulled back. "What do we do now?" she asked. I looked into her eyes, steady and determined. "We fight," I said. "We find out who did this. We gather the truth. We clear your name." Her breathing steadied, a flicker of hope returning. Outside, the city lights glowed through the window, unaware of the storm inside that small apartment. I made myself a promise then. Whoever had done this would answer for it, no matter how long it took. The door cracked open the second I knocked, like she already knew it was me. Her eyes widened, not in surprise but fear, the kind that lives deep in someone long before the moment arrives. "Dad?" she whispered. I stepped inside and shut the door behind me. The place smelled too clean, too controlled, like someone afraid to leave fingerprints behind. "We need to talk," I said. Her shoulders tensed instantly. "He told you, didn't he?" I didn't answer. I didn't have to. Her face collapsed and she turned away, covering her mouth as if holding something back. I stepped closer, slow and careful. "They said you'd hate me," she whispered. "Who said that?" I asked. Her voice shook. "The men who came after it happened." My chest tightened. "Talk to me," I said quietly. "All of it." Her hands trembled as she spoke. "They said they were just asking questions, that it was routine. But they knew things, Dad, where you worked, what time you got home, what car you drove. They said accidents happen. They said if I talked, you'd be the one who paid." My fists clenched so hard they ached. "They scared you into silence," I said. She nodded. "I thought if I stayed quiet, they'd leave you alone." Something inside me shattered. I pulled her into my arms, holding her as she broke down against my chest. Years of fear finally spilling out. "I should have known," I whispered. "I should have protected you." She shook her head. "You were trying to survive, too." I pulled back just enough to look at her. "You never had to do this alone." Her eyes searched mine. And for the first time, I saw hope replace fear. "They erased everything," she said. "Reports, statements, like it never happened." I nodded slowly. "Then we dig it back up." She fell asleep not long after, curled on the couch like a kid who hadn't felt safe in years. I covered her with a blanket and sat there listening to her breathe. The apartment felt too quiet, every sound sharp. My phone buzzed. "David, you with her?" He texted. "Yeah. Once we start this, there's no turning back." I looked at her, sleeping, and felt something harden inside my chest. "I'm not turning back." I stepped into the hallway and called him. "They buried it deep," he said. "But there are traces, files, people who talked when they thought. No one was listening." "Can we protect her?" I asked. "Yes," he said. "But it'll get ugly." "Good," I said. I went back inside and watched her sleep, brushing her hair back gently. "I've got you," I whispered. Outside, the city moved like nothing had changed. But inside that apartment, everything had. They thought they buried the truth. They were wrong. They just woke the one person who would never stop digging. The apartment was quiet, except for the soft rise and fall of her breathing. She slept curled on the couch, one arm tucked under her cheek, the other gripping the edge of the blanket, like she was afraid it might disappear. I stayed in the chair across from her, not blinking, listening to every sound the building made, every car that passed outside, every footstep in the hallway. I hadn't realized how long she'd lived like this, half awake, half afraid, until I felt myself doing the same. My phone vibrated in my hand. David's name lit up the screen. I stepped into the hallway and answered quietly. "You with her?" he asked. "Yeah," I said. "She's asleep." There was a pause on the line. "Once this starts," he said, "there's no backing out. You know that." I leaned against the wall and closed my eyes. "I know," he exhaled slowly. "They buried the case deep. Altered records, missing files, people paid to forget. But not everything stayed buried. There are digital shadows, names, patterns." I stared at the floor, feeling something hard settle in my chest. "Can we protect her?" I asked. "Yes," he said, "but it's not going to be clean. Or quiet." I didn't hesitate. "Good." The word surprised even me, but it felt right. I ended the call and stood there for a moment, letting the weight of it sink in. Fear was still there, thick and heavy, but it had changed shape. It wasn't paralyzing anymore. It was focused. I walked back into the living room and looked at her sleeping, her face finally peaceful for the first time in years. I brushed a strand of hair away from her forehead, careful not to wake her. "I've got you," I whispered. no matter what comes next. Outside, the city kept moving like nothing had changed. Cars passed, lights flickered, people laughed somewhere down the street. But inside that small apartment, something had shifted for good. The truth was awake now, and so was I.